What up, YouTube? Skills versus pills. Where we shoulder roll your bullshit, counter back with the right hand, and lay your ass out. Yeah, I just want to touch on the subject of Joe Cortez, the referee, in the star power fight with Vicious Victor Ortiz versus Floyd Money Mayweather that happened on September 17th. You know, it ended in a controversy knockout that I feel was no controversy at all. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. What happened? You know, if you follow boxing, um, you'll know that Joe Cortez, he's fair and he's firm. You know, he says it. He says it every time. I never seen Joe make any mistakes in the ring, and I didn't see him make one in this fight. You know. I'm also going to touch on Larry Merchant. Again, if you follow boxing, you know Larry Merchant. You know the attitude that he always has. You know his personality. Um, you very rarely hear him talking about how good a guy is, what a guy is doing good. He's more of the negative side of the conversation. You never hear Larry Merchant perhaps say what a guy should do to win the fight. You know, he's a watch it then talk on it kind of commentator. He can't predict anything. He can't let you know what's going on, and I'm pretty sure he guesses when he scores the rounds, in my opinion. You know, but let's get back to Joe Cortez. You know, in the beginning of the fight, you know, he warned both fighters to to fight a clean fight. Watch the headbutts. Watch the elbows. You know, make it a clean fight. You know, he's fair, but he's firm. His usual usual deal. And you know, I just feel like when the foul first happened, after 3 warnings, Joe had to take a you know, Joe had, sorry, I have to message somebody back, but Joe had to take a point away. He had just warned Ortiz 3 times for using headbutts that he seen were deliberate, and he had to take that point away, you know, because it was obvious. Ortiz's veins are coming out of his neck the way he jumped up to reach Mayweather. It was very clear, and Joe Cortez, he turned towards the judges to take a point away, and Ortiz had evaded Joe and went to hug and kiss Mayweather. Okay, so Joe Cortez, he goes back, he grabs Ortiz, he walks him to a neutral corner, and he tells him, "Hey, you can't be doing that." And then he signals the fighter to meet in the center of the ring. He tells him, "Let's go." He points to the clock. He makes sure the clock is going. And just that fast, they had already hugged, and Mayweather fired off and dropped him. Cortez counted him out. That's the end of the fight. Only person that did something wrong right there was Ortiz for taking himself out of the fight. I believe Ortiz was trying to get disqualified. He was trying to use Joe as an escape route. He wanted to get disqualified, or else he wouldn't have threw so many elbows, so many headbutts. And you know, I believe Victor quit and just wanted to pass it on to somebody else. So that takes care of Joe Cortez. I believe he was 100% right in the job he did. He was just fine. And Larry Merchant never gives anybody credit. You know, he always talks about how Floyd is a boring fighter, no matter how. Come on, everybody's seen how intense that fight was. Even for 4 rounds, that was a very intense fight. Mayweather came out making the guy miss. He was making the guy pay, landing fast shots. He was displaying his defense. He was displaying his skills. Ortiz was showing motivation. He was going after Mayweather. He really wanted to get him. And then after a while, you know, he pretty much gave up. But on Larry Merchant's side, he only wanted to make Mayweather feel like he's cheap-shotted Ortiz. Mayweather's standing there with his mouth bleeding, not from a punch, but from a headbutt, and Merchant wants to make Mayweather feel like he cheated, like he's the cheater. Okay, I haven't seen something so dirty since the Mike Tyson fight with Evander Holyfield when he bit off the ear, and that was one of the dirtiest things I've seen in boxing in a long time. And for them to try to blame Joe Cortez or for Larry Merchant to try to blame Mayweather is simply absurd. You know what I mean? Like I read these articles, and Floyd is not getting credit for winning his 7th title, you know, and and 5 different divisions. He's not getting credit for that. They're calling him a cheater and him a sucker puncher and all this. If I feel that if Mayweather was the sucker puncher, he would have went to hug Ortiz and turned it into a punch, which he didn't do. Mayweather didn't sucker punch Ortiz. It was a clean, fair shot, and if anybody's a sucker, it's Ortiz for throwing headbutts several times during the fight. So I'm like this. If you want to blame Joe Cortez, blame yourself. If you want to blame Mayweather, blame Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia was complaining about Mayweather's elbows at the beginning of the fight, through the training camp. He was saying Mayweather's most dangerous weapon is his elbow. And I disagree. Mayweather's most dangerous weapon is evading your punches while standing right in front of you and countering back with right hands consistently. And, I think Danny Garcia took Ortiz's mind off the fight, and he was concentrating on more how Mayweather was going to fight dirty against him. And once Ortiz felt like a couple elbows had brushed against him or tapped him or whatever he felt, he responded in headbutts, because I believe that's what his trainer advised him to do. Yes, we should make this conversation in this video about Danny Garcia also, because I blame the fight on Danny Garcia. I think Victor Ortiz was coming on strong. He had just landed a good shot, and if they had a game plan that was gonna be put into effect, that was the time to do it, not to start throwing headbutts because he thought Mayweather was fighting dirty. So all these people who wants to blame everybody else except for Ortiz and except for Danny Garcia, you guys are wrong. You guys don't know boxing for shit, and you should be fired like Larry Merchant. While you guys are out bushing, us real boxing fans are studying what the hell's going on, and the media is trying to make Mayweather out to be the bad guy. When on the replay it doesn't show the ref in the picture when the knockdown occurs, but if you go a few seconds before, the ref is in the picture. He steps out so the fighters can fight. There's no reason to be looking at the ref. I've never seen one fight. I watch a lot of boxing. I've never seen one fight when the fighter is looking at the ref while getting hit. Never. I've never seen one fight where, the fighter's telling the referee, "Huh? What did you say? I didn't hear you." No. The fighters won't even stop fighting until the referee steps in and breaks them apart. You understand? So for them to say that, the referee wasn't clear, this and that, totally false. Man, you came in there with intentions to hurt Mayweather any way you could, even if you had to fight dirty. That's what you did, and Mayweather laid you out for it. All you need to do is make one mistake against Floyd Mayweather, and you're gone. It seems like the same people who will allow Manny Pacquiao to receive 100% credit for all of his knockout victories and all of his wins, and turn down being randomly drug tested, are the same people who would allow Ortiz to severely headbutt Floyd Mayweather and later on knock him out and call it fair. So, you know, watch the video, watch the fight, watch it over and over again from the first round to the last round, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and be on Mayweather's nuts when the truth is, Ortiz lost his cool because his trainer took him out of the fight. You know, too worried about Mayweather's elbows. Come on, if Mayweather lands an elbow, the ref is gonna be right there to take care of that. I wouldn't train my fight. I wouldn't train my fighter to defend low blows and headbutts. I'll say if he wants to headbutt you, stand right there and let the ref take care of it. Let the ref take away points. And as soon as he's distracted by his foul play, take him out. Alright, so this is Skills versus Pills. I like Joe Cortez. I don't like Larry Merchant. I never did. I don't like the way he talks. I don't like the way he I don't like the way he does anything really. You know, his commentator skills. People say that Mayweather lost to Jose Luis Castillo just because Larry Merchant gave Castillo rounds just for being in the fight and actually trying a couple rounds. You know, in my opinion, Castillo barely won any rounds. He may have won 2 or 3, but that's about it. So this is Skills versus Pills. You shoulder roll your bullshit, counter back with the right hook, lay that ass out.